How you doing? My name is Chris Drummond. Somebody said that I'll never say my name. So my name is Chris Drummond, and I'm with Progressive Action. And I want to talk about a few things. I'm going to be doing a lot of reading from notes. I'm going to talk a little bit about a contract. But the first thing I want to talk about, I think my take on the contract's a little different. Jason Norris did a great job today. Dude is smart. He always been smart. I love to hear him talk. I love his analysis. Juxtapose him speaking and Canelo speaking. It's night and day. He go in the weeds. It's like Trammell going to the weeds. There's a lot of them go to the weeds. He's not one of them. He is a weed in the botanical garden. He's a weed. But I want to talk about Sis. We have a sister that was attacked on Wednesday, 8 o'clock, in transit jargon 2005. Sis was attacked at the Kingsbridge station. She was on the Delta. Somebody kicked in her cab, tried to assault her, then snatched the keys out the MDC. So the cops come. Sis tells them what happens. And dude says, this gentleman with her keys says that he knows her. But he left his things in the cab. He climbed out the window. He kicked the door open, attacked Sis, snatched the keys, climbed through the window of the train at Kingsbridge Station, and tried to walk it away. Cops caught him. She's yelling. He's right there. He has her keys. And he left his things in her cab. The cops give him his phone and his bag, take the keys from her, and let this dude walk away. He tells the cops he knows Sis. Now, the train, there's no service going on. The train's at the station. Sis is terrified. She tells the cops the guy says he knows us. Okay, she says, if he knows me, what's my name? Now, he didn't know her name. We know he didn't know her name. But when is it that you call the cops, especially a woman, and say, I've been assaulted and attacked, and this person ain't immediately arrested, thrown to the ground, and with handcuffs, and the cops are saying, the officer's saying, ma'am, are you all right? None of that. They let him go. Sis was assaulted, snatched the keys, got the cops. The cops are there. And so everybody know, I think they from the 52nd Precinct and the District 11, Transit District 11. These cops should be fired. These cops should be investigated and suspended immediately without pay. The union endorsed Adams. They should be on Adams right now. The press conference should be about the police. How we're not protected. Since when in New York? If my wife called the police right now and said I did something to her. Said I hit her, I grabbed her, threw a plate at her, I'm going to jail. If anybody walks on the street and a woman flags down a cop car and say, hey, this person, that person assault, the cops are taking them to jail. They let this guy walk away. Now, what's going on here? If Sis had on some medical scrubs, would this guy have been arrested? If Sis had a bag from Fordham University, would things have been different? If she was of a different ethnicity, would things be different? It's obvious that our lives mean nothing. We're not protected down here. Why did Sis have to go through it? Now you got this guy walking around. Sis ain't safe. And I spoke to Sis. She's a strong sister. But she's traumatized. She has to be traumatized. She was attacked and these cops refused to arrest this guy, perpetrator. Worse than that, all he had to do is say, so I robbed you. All I said is I know him. I know him or her. But that issue here is they don't care about our safety. That issue has got to be a bias against transit workers. Because folks come down there and do anything to us. We are not. Somebody just got pushed. Poor woman's paralyzed now. 63rd and Lex. There was a what happened to our sister last week? Earlier this week with the gel pellet gun. Could have been a real gun. These are all the dangers that we face on a daily basis. And it seems to me that nobody cares. The cops ain't doing their jobs. The union and trans is not pressuring the NYPD to do their jobs. Should be a press conference. I saw it was a press conference with Sis yesterday, but the press conference should have said, Mayor Adams, what's going on here? What's going on here? Or to the commissioner, you're in charge of our safety. Do something about this. This is insane. Mayor Adams, the commissioner, got to have some accountability. That's why I don't do Platt by myself. I'm not gonna, they're going to tell me, oh, you right here, you can go here. No. It take 30 seconds to get, 5 seconds to get hurt, murdered, shot, choked, whatever. Nobody should do platform alone. And Superintendent said, Drummond, why are you making a big thing about it? Because whether you do platform or not, somebody's going to do it. And he's right. I say, I'm not going to do it. I refuse, but y'all go down there. Y'all don't want to fill out a safety resolution form. What's going on here? This is our safety. This is our life, and nobody seems to care. And sis, get better, sis. You know I'm around if you need me. We all support you, and God bless you, sis. And them cops we gotta put pressure on them cops. She has the badge numbers. She's going to civilian review board. Those cops need to be held accountable. And the contract. Everybody's talked to, like I said, Jason Norris did an exquisite job. And Jason, on behalf of RTO, he voted against the contract. So did Mike Taylor. But the vote for the contract ain't really about the contract. It's your allegiance to Stand United. 39 people voted for the contract, only 2. That's the allegiance. That's the problem there. And progressive change was y'all got all these folks to run for E-Board, and they hopped right on the bandwagon with Stand United. Thank you, Jason and Mike Taylor, for voting your conscience and standing by your RTO brothers and sisters. And let me say this. RTO got nothing. You know what Transit got? Like that what was pointed out, they got more employee valuability. So like Jason pointed out, I think Nook pointed this out too. You can go to the A if you're in the B to the A, C division, which I think is dangerous. Different trains, different situations. Yo, get the money. I'm not going to tell nobody, get the money. Do what you got to do. Do what you want to do. I think it's a recipe for disaster. They ain't going to hear I don't ride this equipment much. They ain't going to hear nothing. They never want to hear nothing. It ain't that type of company. They don't care. They don't care what you, how much you help the service. We get penalized for working hard. No good deeds go unpunished at the MTA. So that's what happened with us. And let's talk about the discipline. That the step 1 to step 2, they gonna talk about it? Y'all remember Canelo ran? I got it right here. Oh man, what happened? Let me tell you, remember he ran and he had on that colorful flyer? He said he won 18 months for progressive discipline. And what he meant that right now is progressive discipline. You get 5 days, they can give you 7, they can give you 10, you got 10 days. They give you 15 days, they can give you 20, you got 20, they give 20, 25 days. I said they progressively, your time, the time they hit you with goes progressively up. It never goes down. But after 5 years, the last contract, and at their discretion, you can have 20 days on your record, and they can go back and give you 15 days. They give you 10 days. They give you a reprimand. But they don't have to necessarily go move it. It don't have to go progressive. It don't have to go 15 to 20 after 5 years. It can go, you can kind of clean your record up a little bit. They don't have to come at you as hard. He said that it was going to go from 5 years. He's pushing for 18 months. That was never discussed. 18 months? I can see 5 years to 2 years. 18 months was insulting everybody's intelligence. He didn't do anything with discipline. He didn't do anything. All he did is like us getting arrested. He just want, even what he said, what they talk about considering in one of these fake committees that's going to go on forever is where you do your step 1 and where you do your step 2. So that's like trying to figure out where you arraigned if you get arrested. We don't want to get arrested. The point to get at discipline is us stop being disciplined for frivolous incidents. That's the point. It ain't where we have our step 2. They know how to do that. Don't COVID. You did step 1s at homes or whatever. Facts, they made accommodations. Who cares where you had your step 1? And he's in the fly. He said, let's get rid of re-instructions. That was crazy to me because it's not even discipline. So we got nothing on discipline. We wasn't going to get money. She did somebody. He did nothing on discipline. Let me tell you something about discipline. Last night, he said, what did he say? Last night he said, I watched it. Last night he said, there are times when people will call and complain about dispatchers and supervisors. And then their service at the terminal is running good. What that got to do with anything? So what? Most of these terminals, well, they got vindictive and wicked, unprofessional dispatchers and superintendent. The terminals are running on time. That's why supervision ain't bothering them, because their terminals is running on time. Watch what he said on his live. How absurd is that? That if our terminals where we work are running on schedule, and they are running on schedule because they're pushing us out all the time. They're using intimidation to get us on our trains. They're stopping some of our brothers and sisters, believe it or not, from taking comforts when they get to the terminals. So, of course, these terminals are running on schedule. That's why this guy, Costanza, was allowed to operate the way he operates, even though he's a lunatic madman, unstable. He's unstable. And they allowed him to do his job, to stay at his terminal. Forget, he ain't doing his job. He's doing his job. He treats us with respect and dignity. He may be an effective manager in their eyes. He's not doing his job. Now watch the video. And that's what he said. Sometimes people call me and complain about dispatch and supervisors, and then the service at their terminal is running good. That's how absurd. That's how he thinks. He's the dude that I heard used to drive dispatchers home. This the dude, you think he care about what's going on with us? But I'll get to that later. So, we didn't get nothing. But listen, don't get it wrong. God bless our brothers and sisters at buses and stations. And don't get it wrong. This is it. Let's talk strategy. Richie Davis did that for buses because them are his constituents. MOW will help Samuelson and Utano get voted back into office. That was their constituents. Those the folks that get them in office. No coincidence MOW didn't get much this time. But buses is going to vote for Richie Davis. Now, we can get Richie Davis out of there. We vote. We the second victim. If subways and stations and RTO get together, we can get him out of there. Care how much buses he got. I don't think MOW's too happy. I know Track ain't happy. We can get him out of there. But it was a savvy move. Bravo, Richie Davis. Bravo. Good move. I'm impressed and I respect them. Guys, I respect them. They're trying to stay in office. They're making moves. So that's why buses got what buses got. But this is the first time in history, if I'm correct. Tremel, hit me if I'm wrong. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. But train operators and conductors always made more than stations and bus operators. It ain't no knock to them. Get all your money. Get your money. But there's an ecosystem here. Buses come over to RTO too. For the money, they come over in stations. It's a upwardly spiral move. But there's an ecosystem. Talk about past practice. He brought that up last night. Past practice. But don't blame the VPs. Don't blame JP or Yates. They fought for their people. And Richie Davis, that's where he come from. He need them. He got to make them happy. Buses always support the union. And we need to, and we have to. But RVP, and let me just say one more thing in regard to the pay. We got to evacuate trains. We got to be track certified. We got to have the ability to shut off power if possible, if we have to. We have those masks for a reason. We have to go on them tracks and be around that third rail, whether we on the elevated or we underground, platform underground. We have a very specific set of responsibilities. But I don't want to cause no dissension. It ain't our brothers in stations and our brothers and sisters, our brothers and sisters stations, our brothers and sisters in surface and my stolen buses. No, they deserve it. They got a hard job. We all have a hard job. And stations has had added responsibilities. I could dig it. But we didn't get nothing. RTO didn't get nothing. And this dude tried to act like this ain't a bad contract. His reps are making calls to people, trying to convince us to support the contract. And I understand. And I understand when a lot of brothers and sisters, it's good, they good. Why are you using DC 37? Why are you yes, that's true. I heard Jason. We're never gonna get what PD get, NYPD get. We can get something close to it. There's a middle ground. We get something in between. Same thing with FDNY. And they scare you, or we go to arbitration. If you go to arbitration, they're not going to say, no, you're not getting the rate. They might say, oh, listen, we think it's fair. You've been filed on DC 30, we think it's fair. They make it seem like it's doomed. DEFCON 1, and we go to arbitration, is going to be a problem. So we good. Arbitrators can rule anyway. Not just against us. They can rule for us, or it could just be status quo. Let's keep it the way it is. They can go that way. But this is a very manipulative union, which worked great for a manipulative dude like Canelo Gomez. Because they think we're stupid. So we got nothing. And let me talk about another thing that got me upset. The hazard pay. Right? What is the hazard pay? Now, I heard Jason. He said that wasn't hazard pay. It's essential workers pay. Right? So we essential workers, so we get rewarded. I guess we get rewarded for what we do. Because if we get rewarded for what we done, I did the math. If you go from March 20th, when the scourge hit us, to March 2021, we're getting $15.69 for every day we worked. If you do it over 2 years, we're getting $7.84 for us risking our lives. And for us helping this city move in one of the worst harrowing times in the history of mankind that we was there. We didn't even get a no lunch for every day we worked. And that goes for if you do the math for 40,000 workers, I don't know what, I just did the math for us. But no, I think that's for everybody. 15, 16, the numbers approach it. But that's also, don't be fooled by them. That 3,000 you added up after taxes, and that 1,000, that's for those who say, at least we got something. That's for us to vote on that, so we got something. A lease is $1,900. That's what that's about. Has nothing to do with our heroics. That has nothing to do with our work ethic. That has nothing to do with our bravery. That has nothing to do with our bravery, our risking the lives of ourselves and our families. Has nothing to do with that. That's a con. I knew that. I said that. Everybody that talked to me, I said that. I put the number at $5,000. But that's what, and don't forget, janitors, retail workers, everybody was an essential worker. And I always said, if everybody's an essential worker, nobody is. And they paid us they gave us that like we nobodies, essential workers. That's insulting. For those who put it on us that we didn't work, there was no support for us to stop working. The union wasn't behind that. If we didn't work, you know how many lives we would have saved? If we didn't work? You know how different things might have been if we didn't work? You know how appreciative we would have been maybe for this company if they had some compassion and said we shutting it down? We're not going to put our workers at risk? They didn't care. And they don't care. And you think it's no coincidence I heard Canella say, I got to find that. I wrote it down. He was talking about respect. He mentioned the word respect and how management respect him. How, I got to find it. Stevie. But he basically said, it's give and take. And if I don't respect what they say and what they offer, they ain't going to respect. They don't respect you. How would they respect somebody who they suspended? You calling everybody else delusional? What did you expect? What did we expect? We've been saying he was compromised. Everybody's saying it. Everyone is saying that we was compromised. And how much negotiation was he doing? And he was in New Orleans last week. Oh, he was at the tables with his sleeve rolled up, passing numbers back and forth, making demands. What? He was just in New Orleans. He wasn't on the table. I can't speak to nobody. He wasn't at them tables like that. Like he was our fearless fighter. He is a fighter. We know how he do. A dirty fighter. Him and his 300-pound accomplice. We know how he do. But this ain't no coincidence that we got nothing in RTO. I will say it's good we got the extra dedicated announcers for our sisters and those restricted folks. That, I like that. But transit, again, with transit, they was under a lot of pressure to do that. Everybody been hitting them on that reasonable accommodation for our sisters. And that still ain't enough. But that hazard pay, that the essential workers pay, well, that's all we getting. There was no fight. It was all a farce. They didn't give a damn. They just wanted us like they always want us. They don't care about our safety. If they cared about Sis was attacked yesterday. The head of the MTA, our president, our senior vice president, will have their foot on NYPD's neck. Be having a meeting with the mayor right now, and we would know the names of those officers. It'd be a press conference that their behavior was despicable, egregious, and they're suspended. They got to calibrate their words. Richie Davis didn't. They got to say after thorough investigation is an ongoing investigation. Remember, Richie Davis didn't do that for Tramiel. He went to the press and said Tramiel attacked. Tramiel got his broken leg and face smashed in, and he attacked poor Canelo Gomez and 300-pound Brian Davis. Y'all remember that? But we got nothing. I wish I could Dyson and listen, Jason, Nook, and Tramiel get back on this. They're pointing out the intricacies of it and the nuance. I see nothing there. I see, and again, buses, good for y'all, brothers. Good for y'all, sisters. Good for y'all. Y'all deserve it. And stations, whatever, y'all underpaid. Y'all still underpaid. They fed y'all to lines. No way that anybody in stations should represent y'all this next election. None of them. They threw y'all out to the dogs. And y'all don't have much luck at 2 Broadway. Y'all know that. I'm not saying nothing out of school. Stations get it at labor relations. Only ones that get it worse than them is traffic checkers. But your stations, it should be over for them. I see a gentleman right there, Richard Singleton. I don't know what he's going to do. A brilliant man, smart man, principled man. I was there. They got all the fighters off the road. They plucked everybody off the road. He wouldn't do it. Singleton said, no, that's a man of integrity who I respect tremendously. And he's brilliant on top of that. But we have a VP who yesterday, he was saying things like, it's laughable. He's just condescending. He can't even help it. Canelo, if you watch the video, he can't even help it. He uses every bit of, every muscle and every fiber in his being to try to be decent. This ain't who he is. Watch him yesterday. He's trying to hold together. But what he do want to talk about is Family Day. He want to talk about family and friends. He want to talk about barbecue. He said this the first division. We the only division, I wrote it down, that don't have a Christmas party. But he didn't say we the only division that assault members. He didn't say we the only division that have a VP who can't come on the property. He ain't say we only VP who, y'all remember Sykes, Gerald Sykes? He was a flagger who got stabbed in the eye, almost got killed. He went to Canelo looking for some help, and Canelo said, bro, you need to seek therapy. And our man, brother Sykes said, man, what do that have to do with anything? I came here for help. We the only division that has a VP that tried to threaten me, called me in the middle of the night. Me. I might have been Trammell. It wouldn't have worked out for him. I might have been Trammell before Trammell. And whoever. And this is the only VP that said about Trevor Logan when he was in arbitration, that was an E-board member, that he was toast. It's over. This is the only VP. They saved their man, and they should have, in MOW. But his training operator, our brother, got 25 days for something that happened in Backwoods Trade with no real representation. This is the only department that have a VP that has a conductor who was upset that he took promotional to go to train operator, and they was playing with him, and he was upset how he was being treated by the union. And Canelo tried to threaten him. So there's a lot of things that this is the only department. This is the only department that didn't get anything. Yes. So this is the only department, and think about this. He said the Christmas party, RTL Christmas party, the barbecue, the game night. So what he's doing, the manipulation is, he's talking about things in December. He's talking about things in November. He's talking about things 5-6 months from now, because he wants you to know and you to think that he has to be here. That's his manipulation. He think that you can give a party. Listen, all y'all take the goods. If it's chicken, if it's barbecue, ribs and chicken, and potato salad, go. You supposed to go. It's your money, go. If it's a game night, you good at spades? I know I am. But if you good at spades, and we all say we good at spades, and you good at cards, whatever, and you have a good time, have a good time. But that don't make him a good leader. That don't mean he care about this department. That thing's that he's trying to bribe you and feed you goodies. So masking what he did and who he is. So you can have any event you want. Give out all the PC5s. Give out gifts. Take them too. He said he got some MacBooks. Okay, take them too. You pay dues. You work hard. You deserve that. But don't be fooled. Don't be hoodwinked. Don't be bamboozled. Don't let him run you amok about who the person that he is. Who he is. He got us nothing. Take everything out the equation. He got this department nothing. And there's nothing that you reps are going to do. Call and trying to convince us, coerce us, coax us into saying that this was a good contract. And I'm going to check into the medical, we're a medical expert, and we're going to see if what we got, the retirees got, is worth anything. Because them retirees are us in a few years. Don't forget that. Y'all think y'all ain't going to retire? 20 years will be here in no time. That sounds crazy, but it will. So this manipulative department, VP that we have, you kidding me? He had to learn to talk about unity yesterday. With this department, he did a sub. That's what y'all call it, right? That's the same people talking about the same things. Yes, the same people that you was running with, your team, remember? You said that, in addition to everybody, that this administration had blood on their hands. You said that. You went to every meeting raising hell. You said what you said about Eric. You said what you said about former President Utano and that administration. Now they can't say it now. Because you sold out, you are a sellout, and we know it. Even your people know you a sellout, bro. You trying to sell this contract like you did something? Like we got something? 4,000 is, I'm just saying, for MTA, for all us who suffered through that scourge and lost friends down here and lost family and got great and got sick and was scared. I know I was scared. I thought I was going to die. I was crying and praying. And we all say we don't want to die. We ain't scared to die. I was scared to die. I didn't want to die like that. I was so scared I didn't go upstairs. My wife was sick. I was scared to go. I didn't want to see her die. Do y'all remember what we went through? The hell we went through? $4,000? Ain't even $4,000 after taxes. Y'all know what that is. But I know, brothers and sisters, I know. It's better than nothing. I could dig it. Sometimes I get cocky on this. Sometimes I talk about how I don't need this job. And I'm not scared to be fired, which I'm not. But I also forget sometimes that some of our brothers and sisters is brave as anybody here. But they got bills to pay. And some of our brothers and sisters are living check to check. Some of our brothers and sisters just here, you just trying to doing the right thing, putting their kids through college. Families wife is taking the course here and there. Trying to do hand to mouth. And that's why this contract, we talk about the newspaper, that's their media department. They almost got 10s. No, we didn't get 10. We got 10. Got 9.5. We got 10. We got 10. But they could put a spin on anything. Remember, Richie Davis on what? We gave him hell. I don't know why he said the Wall Streets and all that. I don't know what that means. Y'all gave him heck. Y'all ain't gave him nothing. Y'all cancel rallies. Y'all didn't have no rally. Y'all ain't give them nothing. Transit wasn't studying y'all. Y'all was like a fly on the elephant's ass to transit. They wasn't worried about y'all like y'all put up the good fight. Like they was checking in with us. You know, with the shirt unbuttoned, you know, with the sweat, tired, exhausted yesterdays in their eyes, and updating us on what was going on. This is what they tried. There was no transparency through all this. We got nothing. RTO got nothing. And a lot of us, in the scheme of things, we got nothing. And Richie Davis did just enough to try to get back in office for next election by giving buses what he gave buses. And buses, you deserve it. And whatever anybody get in other departments, you deserve it. What I'm trying to say, for RTO, your brothers and sisters in RTO, we got nothing, and we know we got nothing. So Canella's going to do what Eric was doing. And he got on Eric. He talked about he wasn't supporting that contract. But he's in Eric's position now. He went to that side. Eric did more work than he did. Eric knows his contract. Eric knew how to move around in a certain way. Canella's a straight embarrassment. And all he can do at this point is give parties and give out PC5s and give out MacBooks. And did y'all notice this? If I'm going crazy, tell me. Did y'all see when he did that? He had Barack Obama. He claims to be apolitical. I've never heard him say anything about black folks ever. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Bay Shabazz, Ida B. Wells, Stokely Carmichael. I never heard them say anything. C. Philip Randolph. I never heard him say, Frederick Douglass, anything about black folks, ever, our history, ever. But he had a picture of Detroit Red, Malcolm X when he was young, El Malik Shabazz, as his name when he passed. Had a picture of Barack Obama, who many of y'all think walk on water. I could dig it. And he had, and I saw in the background, he had a championship belt, like a boxing belt. Now y'all go watch that. Am I crazy? And let me tell you when you do it. Before I do live, I'm like this. I got old flat. I gotta get rid of them flat. I didn't want y'all to see that. I got this over here. I got my closet with my undershirts and all that. I didn't want y'all to see that. I want y'all to see just, I tried the angle so y'all seeing just what you're seeing. But my point is, you know what's in your background. Everybody does a testing 1, 2, 3 before they do a live. So did this guy put the championship belt there? How tasteless is that? Now, if I'm wrong, I owe you an apology. But if I'm right, what kind of dude is this? What kind of individual is that? How deranged is that? How narcissistic is that? How sociopathic is that? And he's talking about unity? Watch that tape. Watch the words he used. Ain't no sincerity there. He's not sincere about anything. He's an embarrassment. And Richie Davis in the top 4, he's going to drag you down. He has no support in RTO. He's a pariah. Everybody got some supporters. He's going to drag you down, and he should. He's an embarrassment. I can't say what he did, and none of y'all could point out anybody that did what he did. And if y'all move like that, was as sloppy as he was as hapless. Like that movie, Had a Gun, he would be the gang that can't shoot straight. He butchered it. He was setting out to do a job, maybe, possibly. Tremel only had 25 minutes between. I mean, he came to a crew room that was in disrepair. He didn't come there to talk about the disrepair. He came there, he couldn't fix the crew room, but he could put up posters. Tremel was off the day before. Tremel had 25 minutes. He didn't have much leeway, much time. He had 25 minutes to get on this train. But that 25 minutes was enough for Canelo to do what he had to do. And I believe Richie Davis made that comment because he didn't know how much pain, how much damage Canelo and Davis had reaped. He didn't know Tremel was in that condition when this happened. He couldn't wait to make that comment. But the problem was Canelo messed up. He messed up. He came all the way to the Bronx. He lives in Brooklyn. From New York, he came all the way to Bedford Park. All the way to the Bronx. And get at Tremel. And the plan was, don't forget, brothers and sisters, not a coincidence, the week before, Tremel was in the A division. They was accusing Tremel of just being an internet presence, just being on a Facebook, a social media presence. But he was about the people. Tremel went out there and we had a good time. It was love there. I was with him. It was love there. And he had went to the mass meeting. Got love there. And then he was planning on going to the dinner. The Black History African American dinner. I'm butchering that, but it was for recognized as African History Month. Tremel didn't make it there. He wasn't supposed to make it there. They're supposed to do what they got to do and try to get this brother arrested. That was the plan. But Canelo was inept. And I think in Union, Jimmy Hoffa, this could be a full contact sport at time. But he don't know what he's doing. They had no respect for him at the table, and what we got illustrates that. See, that's all you gotta do, the MOU, that he didn't get us nothing. But why would they give him anything? And maybe that was part of the deal for buses. We ain't giving this guy nothing. We ain't even talking to him. If you look at where everybody else, it seemed like they didn't have nothing to say to him. But how could they talk to him? And through the real critical time, he was in New Orleans. So that's all I have to say. This contract, in my opinion, and if you like it, do what you got to do. I could dig it. But we know, RTL know, we got nothing. And to our brothers and buses and anything that any of us got, any gains, we want you to have that. We brothers and sisters down here. But the union reps for RTL, don't call us with that. This contract is something. You got to sell a contract. Everybody I speak to, they not pleased with this contract. And stop trying to convince us that there's something there. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing in that contract. That's a fact. I had some more. I guess I'll save that for Sunday. But I hope I made some sense here. Bro, how you going to say you hope to make some sense? That's the dude, he used that the other day. He used that. I hope I make some sense. I mean, Tramel say peace and everybody have their thing. You know how they end? This is this dude. This is what he did. He co-ops things from people. He's a con man. And the dude is going to use my closing? I hope I made some sense here. This is who he can't even hide who he is. What they call that? Jacking? I forget. What's that term? Swagger jacking, they used to say. But that being said, I hope I made some sense. We got nothing in this contract. We was compromised. We are compromised. Canelo Gomez is a stain on our department and this union. Everybody be safe and take care.